Okay, now we start two type of physical quantities, scalar quantities and vector quantities. Now, what we understand by scalar quantities and what we know about vector quantities. At first, I will talk about scalar quantities. What are scalar quantities? Scalar quantities are those quantities which require only magnitude and not direction for their complete description are called scalar quantities. Okay. Let me explain what is the meaning of this. Which require only magnitude. Magnitude means number. Magnitude means number and not direction. Let me give you an example. Distance. Okay. Suppose that the distance between Siltham and APS school is 5 km. Am I right? The distance between Siltham and APS school is 5 km. What is the meaning of this sentence? You understand it? Okay? It means that such type of quantities are scalar quantities in which we only require this number only. 5. This number, this is called a magnitude. Number, 5 km. 5 is a number. This is magnitude. Okay? So, in this condition, we require only magnitude. We should have only number. Okay? We don't need any direction in this case. Such type of quantities are called scalar quantities. Okay? Let me give you example. Its time is 9 a.m. Okay? Only I want 9 a.m. I want only this number. We don't need any type of direction to specify the time, to explain about time. Its time is 9 a.m. Okay. Okay? Such type of physical quantities in which only magnitude is required, only number is required. Such type of quantities are called scalar quantities. Okay? We have example also distance, speed, time, area, mass, volume. Okay? In volume also, let me say that I want 2 liter of water. 2 liter water. 2 liter. Okay, 2 liter water, 2. Only we need this number, magnitude. And this is completely explained. Okay, and what are vector quantities? Vector quantities are those quantities which require magnitude and as well as direction also for complete description. Such type of quantities are called vector quantities. Okay, let me give you an example. Displacement, velocity, acceleration. Briefly, I explain about displacement, velocity and acceleration. These are the vector quantities. These are such type of quantities when we will talk about displacement, when we will talk about velocity. Okay, at that moment of time we need magnitude, number as well as direction also, like towards east, toward west. Okay, such type of quantities are called vector quantities. We will deeply study about displacement, velocity, acceleration in this chapter after this. Okay? So, physical quantities are of two types. First, scalar quantities and second, vector quantities. What are scalar quantities? Scalar quantities are those quantities which require only magnitude, not direction for their complete explanation, for complete description. Such type of quantities are called scalar quantities. We have example of scalar quantities are distance, speed, time, area, mass and volume. There are number of quantities which are scalar. Same that what are vector quantities? Vector quantities are those quantities which need magnitude and direction for their complete description are called vector quantities. Okay, we have example also displacement, velocity, acceleration. As I said to you that we will discuss about the displacement, velocity, acceleration. This is in our upcoming lectures. Okay, now we start now physical some other physical quantities. Okay, now we know that physical quantities are of two types, scalar and vector. And what are scalar quantities? Revise first. What are scalar quantities? Scalar quantities are those quantities which need only magnitude for their complete description. And what are vector quantities? Vector quantities are those quantities which need magnitude as well as direction for their complete description. Okay, got it? Now, in this chapter, we will read some physical quantities. Like, first, we will read about distance. At first, we will read about distance. Then, after distance, we will go through displacement. Then, number 3, we will read about speed. Number 4, velocity. Number 5, acceleration. Acceleration. Okay, these 5 physical quantities are very important for us. In this chapter, we will read about distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. Okay, one by one, we will read about everything in this chapter, and after this, we will read about uniform motion. Uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion. Then after that, we will read about equation of motion. Equation of motion. Uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Then after that, we will read about equation of motion. And these equation of motion will be a relationship between these 5 fundamental quantities: distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. So this is very important term. What we understand by distance, what we understand by displacement, what is speed, what is velocity, and what is acceleration. Okay. Then at first, let me start with distance. What is distance? Okay. So at first, in physics, what is the definition of distance? The simple definition of distance is the total path covered by any body. That is called a distance. The total path covered by any body is called a distance. The total path covered by any body is called distance. Okay, let me give you an example. Suppose this is a point A, and we are going A to B. This is total 2 km. After that, I start from B and now I am here at point C, and this is 3 km. Okay, I am giving you a very simple example. Suppose I am at A and I start to move from here. I move toward east. Okay, 2 km, and I reach at point B. Then I move toward north, and that is 3 km. Okay, then in this case, what is distance covered by me? That is A to C. Okay, at first I was at A. Now what is my final position? That is C. Okay, then what is the total path covered by me? A to C. Okay, at first I move A to B, that is 2, then after that 3. Then total distance covered by me equal to 2 km plus 3 km. That is 5 km. Okay, then the distance covered by me is 5 km. Okay, so what is the definition of distance? The total path covered by any body is called distance. Okay, let me give you another example. Suppose you are here and now you move here, B, that is 2 kilometer, then you move here, that is 3 kilometer, then you back, then you come back from here and you reach here now. Okay, this is our starting position. Suppose B, then C, then finally I come back, you come back from here and you reach at this point. Then what is total distance covered by you? Give me answer. You move from this point to this point, that is 2 kilometer. Then you move this point to this point, that is 3 kilometer. Then you move this point to this point again, that is also 3 kilometer. Then total distance covered by you. 3, 3, 6, 6 plus 2, 8 kilometers. So answer of this is 8 kilometer. Okay. Do you understand by distance? Distance is the total path covered by you, or that total path covered by anybody, that is called distance. Okay. Very good. Now, there is a unit of distance also. What is, you know now? You know, I know that all of you know that what is SI unit of distance. What is SI unit of distance? That is meter. SI unit of distance is meter. Got it? Okay. You should remember this thing. SI unit of distance is meter. Okay. Some other units are also there. Unit of distance. We can measure distance in kilometer. We can measure distance in centimeter. We can measure in millimeter also. Okay. We have some larger units like light year. We have some smaller units like millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, decameter. Okay. There are number of unit of distance. We can measure by number of units. But SI unit of distance is meter. You should know this thing. You should remember this thing. What is SI unit of meter? And SI unit, this is very important. What is SI? SI means International System of Units. Okay. This unit is adopted by all country in the world. So this is SI means International System of Unit. Okay. The SI unit of distance is meter. Okay. This is valid in every country. So we will in every physical quantity we will talk about SI unit. Okay. So now we know about distance. What is distance? The total path covered by any body is called distance. And what is SI unit of distance? That is meter. Okay. This is a physical quantity. We know this thing, and we already discussed about physical quantities are of two types. First, scalar and second, vector. So what type of quantities? What type of quantity? Scalar or vector? 100%. This is scalar quantity. What are scalar quantities? Scalar quantities are those quantities which need only magnitude for their complete description. No need to direction. As I have given you one example. Okay, when a body moves from one point to another point, then we add all the distances. Okay, so such type of quantities are called scalar quantity, and distance is a scalar quantity. Okay. Now, I start second thing, that is displacement. Very important phenomena. You should remember that. What is distance and what is displacement? Okay. Displacement is the actual path covered by any body. The actual path covered by any body.